Hello, my name is Edmund. I am 33 years old and I live in the United States of America in the state of Wisconsin in a city called Milwaukee, which translated into the Native American language or Indigenous people language, Algonquin means the good lands. And you could actually receive this information if you see a movie called Wayne's World, and it's within that movie. And it's a really funny movie. At least funny from the context of my lifespan, from my perspective. And that's kind of what this is essentially an expression of my perspective. I have been quite inspired or quite entertained or quite engaged in a lot of personalities that sort of leave entries in YouTube in particular, I suppose, of what their perspective on things that they find interesting. And that's kind of what this is for me as well. Um, it's a very easy thing to do. I have right now a rather inexpensive cell phone, and I'm going to upload this video with that. And as time progresses, perhaps a higher form of medium will be used. Perhaps not, though, as well. So I'm basically doing this to sort of season my own mind, to clarify my own thoughts and my perspective, and through that, help hone my motivation to be of benefit in this world. And you will notice, as if you continue to view my content, I will be talking about motivation. I will talking about being of benefit quite a bit. And this is due to this is a sort of this is a sign or evidence of a lot of what my thought process goes into. I have spent a considerable amount of time in this life, particularly in my later years, studying Tibetan Buddhism and Buddhism in general. And I have been going to India as well to help sort of receive inspiration to this effect. Primarily, though, the forms the my studies have been within the United States, and the yeah, and there's almost everything has been everything is really available out there for you to find and explore from actually a very convenient vantage point in this world, especially. Um, so I recommend, I certainly recommend if you have interest in Tibetan Buddhism to look for it. It shouldn't be too hard to find. You'll be able to look at a lot of genuine videos and teachings, online. And so, most certainly, if you have any questions on that, feel free to ask, of course. Yeah. You might also notice as well that I talk about a lot of things that I find are kind of fun, like, for instance, movies in general. Movies that are kind of popular right now within mainstream culture. I like going to these movies, and I'll talk about them, and I'll use my particular perspective to of course. I mean, what else would I do, right? I would use my particular perspective to kind of explain how I see it slightly. And, I have spent a fair amount of time in this life kind of refining, refining certain ideas and thoughts, as we all have. And if, for instance, I really felt like my ideas or thoughts were being perfectly expressed by others, then I would just simply do as I suppose you could say Milarepa said, in just perfectly rejoice in those people who are expressing my thoughts and ideas. Perfectly rejoice in that, and you receive the same benefit as they do. Milarepa, he is a Tibetan Buddhist yogi who lived a long time ago, probably around the year 700 AD in Tibet, maybe around then. He was, yeah, and his lineage has gone on for 27 generations, which is pretty amazing, right? No, excuse me, 17 generations. But that's pretty amazing, right? So yeah, go just to 17 generations. So it's probably sometime then would be after 1000 AD then when I think about it. But still, it's a long time ago. Um, Worth looking up. Yes, but if to get back to what I was saying, if I felt like what others were saying was exactly how I felt, in the mediums in which I am able to view. I have confidence that, in things that I do not see, my views are being expressed. And that's something we might get into is the idea of the infinity and the myriads of universes and phenomena in general, and start off with simple phenomena, and then through analyzing that, expanding out. Yeah. So what I intend to do is kind of explain a particular viewpoint that comes from a collection of my experiences that go back a very long ways. A collection of my experiences combined with the mysteries of consciousness, and explain. It presents certain ideas or concepts based off of phenomena that we mutually perceive. And perhaps there will be some benefit to this. I will attempt to be able to back up what I say through logic and reasoning, and that will be the basis for a lot of what I say, is because it has gone through a particular analysis within the mind. Yeah, and so in conclusion, I will say that I am going to essentially attempt to season my own mind and refine my presentation to be of the utmost benefit to all beings. So acknowledging the perception of a self, but while also acknowledging the interconnectivity that's the basis for reality. And so the idea is to benefit myself and all people at the same time, uniting the ultimate and relative. That's what's going on. Welcome to my channel. Let's unite.